Hey there, Papa's Posse. Don't forget about that QR code. Take you to my eBay, YouTube, and Instagram page. Well, welcome back to the channel there, Papa's Posse. Once again, it's Papa's Comic Books, Coffee, and more. And today we have Mr. Miracle, number 25, 35 cents back in 1978. Title of the story, Doom Unto Others. It's by Steve Gerber and Mike Golden. Now, before we begin, don't forget, this book and others are available on my eBay page, Papa's-Comic-Books. Please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And here we go. No use struggling, Mr. Miracle. I'm the trap. You cannot escape. Scot-free, was born god of the Genesis, but grew to manhood as a ward of the Dark Seed, Death Master of Apocalypse. In time, he escaped that planet of darkness and fled to Earth. And there to survive, he took up the profession of escape artistry. A unique past, yes, leading to the unique future. For all the gods and men in the universe, there is only one, Mr. Miracle. Bound in chains, he was sealed in a coffin of steel and dropped some 800 feet into the gorge of the Colorado River at Hoover Dam, and he lives. More, he is free. And the crowd that gathered to witness his escape, including wife Barda, assistant Oberon, and manager Ted Brown, thunders its approval. As I was constrained by links forged of metal, there are forces in the universe which seek to bind you. As I was sealed alive in a casket, there are forces which seek to suffocate you. But escape is possible. He's laying it on a little thick, don't you think? Nah, the crowd's eating it up. Perhaps, but you earthmen will ingest anything. I, for one, don't like the taste. My husband, despite his ancestry, is cut out to play the Messiah. He cherishes his own freedom too well. Light years distant there are those who shared Barda's sentiments, though for vastly different reasons. Our Mr. Miracle has become too unpredictable and therefore too dangerous now that he's forsworn his allegiance to New Genesis. Such a waste as a lad. Scott was among the finest pupils, great Dark Seed. It's true what they say, there's no heartbreak like a good boy gone wrong. Spare me, Granny. Simply attend to the matter of this destruction quickly and cleanly. Consider that a command, Granny. Of course, sure. Of course, sire. I've already taken certain measures to ensure that your will be done on Earth as it is in Apocalypse. Granny, goodness won't disappoint you, sire. That, of course, remains to be seen, but give Granny credit. She puts on a good show. What the Dark Seed's photon patrol here on Earth. Incredible! I'd never have expected this blatant an attack, which no doubt is the way he planned it. He knows confrontation isn't my forte, and that I'd never allow non-combatants to fall prey to an attempt on my life. On the other hand, this could be interpreted as a very positive sign. Darkseid wouldn't go public unless he believed I'd actually discovered the means to counteract the anti-life equation. And if that's the case, I just can't afford to die today. The formulation reputed to grant mastery over all life forms. Larry. For one thing, my messianic impulses are strictly secular. I don't harbor any illusions about my possibilities for resurrection. They're zero. Moreover, now that Darkseid is all but confirmed on the right track, I'm not about to let a trio of his clumsiest torpedoes divert me. Out of sight, Scott never even told me he planned on an encore. That's okay, the encore didn't tell him either. Then you recognize the Warriors' uniforms, Oberon. What, you figure I don't know the tip of an iceberg when I see one? Now that Scott's considered a renegade by both Apocalypse and the New Genesis, it's going to be an open season on aspiring messiahs. Remember, escape is possible. Break out of the returns that confine you. You're nothing to lose but your chains, dangerous and formidable. I must concede it's time we employ more drastic means, and presented him with an evil more virulent than any spawn in Apocalypse. But great Darkseid, there is no such. You are mistaken, Hag. There is indeed among the humans themselves. I suspect it's a function of lifespan. Granny, we of Apocalypse are high into immortal. For all the sophistication on Elan, we cannot know the desperation. Come, let me show you what this distortions, hunger and frustration may wreak upon the human spirit. So Darkseid turns his attention earthward, while in the penthouse suite of an opulent Las Vegas hotel. We made the front page of half the major papers and page 2 of the rest. This is it, Scout Boy, the big time. Curb your enthusiasm, Mr. PR man. You don't know how big. Relax, old friend. Let Ted enjoy his triumph. His triumph? You're the bozo who stuck your fool neck in the jaws of death, and you still haven't explained how you managed to extract it. Don't remind me. Okay, that's no small compliment, Oberon. To mystify someone who's been in the business for 30 years, don't remind me, just spill it. Okay, as you know, I was faced with 3 problems. 1, I had to free myself from the chains by means other than picking the locks, because the locks were welded shut. 2, I had to escape the steel coffin, whose lid was also sealed by the torch. 3, I had to survive the impact of an 800-foot drop, backflop into the Colorado River, but not necessarily in that order. The box itself afforded some protection, but to assure my safety, I hit the water in a state of semi-phase, utilizing my teleportation powers to make my body less than solid. The locks were rigged with a special explosive, immune to the heat of the welding torches, but detonatable on electronic cue from me. Once my hands were free, of course, it wasn't difficult to use my miniature laser knife to slice through the lid of the coffin like butter. Then it was a simple matter of swimming to the surface and slapping on the aero discs and, hold it. This electronic cue, how'd you send it? And where'd you conceal the blasted laser? Same answer to both, old my friend. I planted the laser and the signal device in my cheek where my tongue could find them easily. Fantastic. We'll make Houdini look like a caged parakeet. Look out, Hollywood, here we come. After a good night's sleep, Ted, all things in their own time. And then there are those events whose time we ardently hope will never come, but does anyway. The destruction of the cherished illusions, for example, such as those currently under demolition in the Glendale, California home of Rex and Ida Hubbard and daughter. It's not normal. She's held that pose for 3 full minutes. In spite of the heat, in spite of the danger, and virtually without effort. Magnificent, isn't she? And we've only begun to tap her potential. You did beautifully, Aliana, or Elena. Thank you, Mother and Father. Do you approve? I don't know. It's not normal. I can't look at you. That stare shoots straight through me. No, Rex, into you. Her eyes are as sharp as her reflexes. She catches every nuance, and you can't bear such close scrutiny, can you? She sees you for what you are, a timid, pathetic farce of a man. She sees what I should have seen 16 years ago, but I was blinded by my parents, by society, and the blaze of your gridiron glory. Rex Hubbard, high school football hero. What every little girl is taught she should want. The quintessential good catch. But deep in my heart, I knew, Rex, that your courage was confined to the quarterback slot, and the accent proved it once and for all. Ida, please, you're still squeamish 10 years after the fact? Why, Rex, you and I walked away from the wreck without a scratch. Only Aliana had to suffer. Brain damage, Mr. Hubbard. She's paralyzed and in constant pain, I'm afraid. We can try to deaden it with the drugs out, but, well, the nature of the injury is such that the pain constitutes most of her awareness. It's almost all she can feel. No, you'll overcome it, Aliana. Aliana, yeah. You'll be strong. Do you hear? All knew even then what Ali knew all, even then what she'd have to endure. She consented. Something passed between up at us at that moment. Something almost mystical. I gave her all my strength, Firefly, and willingly. A week after the doctors pronounced her immobilized for life, Ali was walking, Rex remembers, excuse me, and as the years went by, it became evident she possessed all the capabilities of, as you'd put it, a normal child. It wasn't until much later that she and I understood that her abilities far surpassed the norm. I knew she was athletically inclined, but this bizarre tricks, Ida, out of the desert, she let herself be bitten by a rattlesnake and survived, and killed a snake with her bare hands. How? It hasn't penetrated yet, has it, Rex, dear? The extent of Ali's accomplishments, the effects of all the accident have never abated. She's still right this minute, a supreme agony, but she's brought it under control. Total control, sweetheart, beyond anything any yogi or mystic ever achieved. Eliana, show your father. Uh-oh. She mastered the pain as a mere child without comprehending the enormity of what she'd done. She harnessed an inner strength which most of us never, ever, tap? Oh my God. She did what I could only dream of. She did it of necessity. I had the same potential, Rex, dear. I could have been what Ali is, but I was conditioned to suppress all that. You're crazy, both of you. Now, what is she, Ida? That's not a 15-year-old girl. She's a thing, some kind of a freak. She never shows emotion. She rarely even speaks. What is she, besides this control she's learned? What use is this? This is so-called achievement. She sacrificed her normalcy to live out some perverse fantasy of yours. What, are you offended because she can't use her skills in a typing pool? Or there are other possibilities? Or haven't you heard of Wonder Woman, the Black Canary, Supergirl? My Lord, are there no bounds to your fantasies? You fancy yourself as the mother of a superheroine? Is that it? Why not? Why not indeed? And why limit ever even to that? Under my advanced tutelage, she might attain far more, and I only ask a small favor in return. Superheroes! Los Angeles International Airport the following morning. Scott and Company deplaned to be greeted by, over here, it's me, Evelyn Spitz, your Gallery of Domiciles representative. Your what? She is a real estate agent, Oberon. You're famous, Mr. Free. The Times ran your picture on page 1 this morning. We have a darling home in Laurel Canyon, all picked out for you. I'll drive you right to your door. Thanks, you, Mrs. Spitz. North on Sepulveda Boulevard to Sunset. Hang a right on Sunset and Laurel Canyon, take a left, and, anybody got any Dramamine? Better get used to this driving out here. Your front lawn isn't within walking distance. Well, here we are. Don't you just adore it? This is smack cost $60,000. Oh no, 75. We had nothing available in the 60s back bracket, except rather tacky one-bedroom in Burbank. Well, it's not the 18-room estate we left behind in Metropolis, but it certainly is rustic. Psst. Just want you to know, even though you sold the house I lived in the 30 years to buy this place, I'll never forgive you. The interior really is much more spacious than you might expect, and the view from the sun deck is breathtaking. It's definitely a change for us from Metropolis or New Genesis. New Genesis, that is, isn't it? Maybe I'm a minority, and one out I like it. Yeah, well, much as I hate to admit it, I so do I kinda maybe it was time for a change. That's the seal of approval I needed, Miss Spitz. We'll take it. You already have. Didn't you read your contract? We select your home based on the information you provide. Oh, but it makes my job so much easier than the buyer in the Allure. And now I must be running. Better consult with me on these matters in the future, Scott. Too many pitfalls. Agreed. Now, how about filling me in on the big secret the rest of you seem to be sharing? Oberon keeps jabbering me about messaging what? All right, Ted, you're entitled to know what you're getting into. Uh-oh, what's he getting into? Uh-oh, this sounds serious. Mind if I take something to help ease down the gullet? No, not at all. Ted, you've been aware since we first met that that Garter and I were born on another world. That world, New Genesis, is engaged in a war of sorts with a planet called Apocalypse and its despot Darkseid. And the prize for which the two are competing is something called the anti-life equation. Follow? Follow? Sure, it's your basic George Pal movie. Ted, if Darkseid gets that equation, it's the end of man's free will for all time. Unless we, you, Barda, Oberon, and I can make enough people aware of their stake on their individuality. It's a dying concept, Ted. Society puts too many pressures on, too many demands on people. They're too busy fulfilling others' expectations to question their own needs. There's one form, anti-life, Ted. It. What is it? This. Are we actually under attack? What do you think? Hurry, get Oberon and Barda out of here. Then, find a foxhole for yourself. My mask will protect me from the fumes while I try to find out who. But before Scott can finish his sentence, the enemy dramatically reveals herself, and in so doing unleashes a torrent of new questions. By the source, now, why didn't I hear her? I'm trained to. And the noxious fumes don't seem to affect her. Why? And her strength seems to be the equal of Barda's. But how? No, wait. The part of me that is Mother Box is screaming in my brain. It's not purely physical strength. She's employing the real danger. Is some instinct she possesses for applying her strength to precise effect. She's like a living trap. I can't fight her. I have to. Escape her. There's more to her than that, obviously, but at least now I have an attitude to work with. Treat her as both the audience and keep her distracted, maintain the mystery while I work on her weak points. And to manage that, I have to finesse myself into the offensive position. But barely has Scott congratulated himself on his brilliant perfection when she turned in and leap. Her applause, I'm guessing, are incredible. Go out. So are mine. But apparently that isn't enough to give me the edge. I've accomplished the task, Granny. Shame on you, Alania. You mustn't fib to Granny. You've only stunned Mr. Miracle. He's still very much alive. I performed to the best of my ability. He proved a more difficult opponent then. Now, Allie dear, that simply hasn't so. You've handled yourself marvelously thus far. Why spoil it for yourself? Do as Granny says and kill him. I cannot. But you must. We made a bargain, dear. I promised you I would patch things up between your parents and help you and hope none of your abilities to perfection. And now, promised, I agreed to a trial of my competency in a combat situation, and I have found that I do not enjoy violence. I prefer to compete against myself. Well, that's just got the carnage, dearie. That's got to change, dearie, or you're useless to me. That is a disappointment. I feel there isn't much you can teach me. You know your grip cannot cause pain. What is that? That's all right, okay. Indeed, that's one reason our warriors are on Apocalypse were never conditioned as you were. Agony is too useful of a tool for any authority. All I can do to you is make you die painlessly. That's the penalty, Alana. Dare for defy. And that's about enough of your wanted loving kindness, Granny. I'm getting nauseous. What's this all about? Since when does Darkseid use Earthlings as agents? That would be telling Scott, dear. You shouldn't have struck Granny. You know that was cruel. You've just cost Allie's parents their lives. They died when it became clear she'd failed. You're not much of a messiah, Scott, dear. You're not very accepting. What are you babbling about? What does that all mean? The Christian God has a Lucifer. The Genesis is Apocalypse. And somewhere, Scott, dear, you have your Antichrist. I pity you when we find him, for he's the trap you cannot escape, the balance factor your own actions have created. And that was Mr. Miracle, number 25, from way back in 1978. I hope you enjoyed that little reading. Now, don't forget, this book and others are available on my eBay page, Papa's-Comic-Books. Please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And remember, as Papa, Mr. Miracle, Alana, and everyone else always say,
that was easy.
Until next time, Papa is out.